Hi, my name is Martin Orlando. Welcome to my hobby YouTube channel. Today I have the top 24 groups of all time. These are the top hits of the groups on all the charts. Any chart, even my chart, it's their total amount of hits. First, I'll tell you the name of the group and then how many hits they had. At number 24 is Duran Duran. They had 31 top hits. And I'll show you this one. This is my favorite. I'm going to show you my favorites of all the different CDs and stuff. This is Duran Duran's greatest hits. Is There Something I Should Know, and so on. The Reflex, A View to a Kill from the James Bond movie, Ordinary World, Hungry Like a Wolf, New Moon on Monday, all their greatest hits. This sounds really good on the stereo. That's why I like this one so much. And the order that they show it in here is not the order they were played. They put a really good, this is how they're really played. Come Undone is the last song. And that's Duran Duran at number 24 of the greatest groups of all time with the most hits. At number 23, Rush. They have 31 hits also. This is their retrospective. I got both discs. This was 1974 through 1980. And then the second retrospective, 1981 through 1987. Let's see, some of their favorite songs. Well, the bass guitar and vocals was Geddy Lee, Alex Lifeson, and Neil Peart. There's some of their albums over the years. On their first album. Have some good songs on this one. The Spirit of Radio. So I love listen to the radio. That's how I started my countdown. Bastille Day. Anthem is a good song. Closer to the Heart, one of my favorites. Fly By Night. Let's see what else. The second CD was the... I'm surprised I didn't put them both together in one set. But I got both discs. 1997 is when I got these. The Big Money. Tom Sawyer's like the one everyone likes. I like it too. Had a really cool thing in the background of this song. New World Man. That was another one of their big hits. And that's the group Rush. Number 23 of the top groups with the most hits. Okay, number 22 is ABBA. And this is one of my favorite ABBA albums. This is the one that had SOS, Mamma Mia, Tropical Loveland, Man in the Middle, Bang a Boomerang, I Do, I Do, I Do, I Do. And that was all their big ones. This is like their second album, I believe. 1975. Everybody likes that song Mamma Mia. SOS was the big song on this album. That's number 22, ABBA, and they had 32 top 40 hits. Okay, number 21 is Kiss, and they had 33 top 40 hits. This is my favorite album of theirs, Dynasty, and all their makeup there. Song I Was Made for Loving You, Sure Know Something, Dirty Livin', Magic Touch, X-Ray Eyes, and Save Your Love. Those were all big hits for Kiss. There was only 9 hit songs on this. This was 1979, I believe. That's Kiss at number 21 of the groups with the most hits. Okay, number 20, Linkin Park. This is my favorite album of theirs, Hybrid Theory. It was their first big album. Song One Step Closer, Points of Authority, Crawling, In the End. That's their biggest hit on here. Let's take a look at this. The artwork of this group, I love it. Okay. That's number 20, Linkin Park. Number 19, Maroon 5. My favorite album is Songs About Jane. This introduced us to Maroon 5. I think they had one other album before this. This one had Harder to Breathe, This Love, Shiver, She Will Be Loved. I think Tangled was a hit too. Sunday Morning, Must Get Out. Okay, that's Maroon 5. You know, this is the group headed with Adam Levine. Ryan, Jesse, James, and Mickey. The other members of Maroon 5. That's number 19, Maroon 5. The groups with the most hits, they had 36. 36 hits. Number 18, Electric Light Orchestra. This is my favorite album of theirs. Time. Had Twilight. Rain is Falling. Hold On Tight. Say the album Time. They don't say it on the front. And there we go. That's the CD. Electric Light Orchestra I saw on Midnight Special many years ago. Oh, there it is. It says Time right there. Electric Light Orchestra had 36 hits. And number 17, Rascal Flatts. Feels Like Today is one of my favorite albums of theirs. Bless the Broken Road, Feels Like Today, Fast Cars and Freedom. Those were the hits. This is an enhanced CD. Put it in the computer and they'll show you more. The making of this album was a documentary. I kept the hype sticker. Let's see when this was. Usually it tells you at the end. 2004 is when this came out. Alright, so that's Rascal Flatts. And number 17 of the top groups of all time. They had also 36 hits. Alright, number 16 is Coldplay. This is my favorite album of theirs, X and Y. Song Square One, Fix You, it's the biggest hit on here. Speed of Sound. I think The Hardest Part was also a top hit. Not much to this unless this album, the little book in here has a lot more. Oh, that came right out. There was an exclusive track you could download. I think I did download it. Kind of electronic, computer-driven type of album. This was... I don't remember what year this one came out. I want to say 2007 maybe? Let me see what it says on the back. It's very tiny, I can't see it. 2005? 2005. Well, that's number 16. Coldplay had 37 hit songs so far. Number 15, Motley Crue. This group, I only had a couple of albums. This is Theater of Pain. It's my favorite of theirs. The songs Home Sweet Home, Smoking in the Boys' Room. And we got Mick Mars, Tommy Lee, Nikki Sixx, and Vince Neil. There they are again. And the lyrics on the other side. That's Motley Crue. Number 15 of the groups of all time, top groups. Okay, number 14, Fleetwood Mac. And this is my favorite one of theirs, Say You Will. Let's see, the songs on this one was Thrown Down, Peacekeeper, Say You Will, and there was one other hit on here. Elume, and that was from the 9/11 thing. This album was around 2003. It was a couple years after. But that hit big when they were doing like shows about, the 9/11. This had a lot of pictures in it. Stevie Nicks, Mick Jones, Lindsey Buckingham. That's Fleetwood Mac, and they had 41 big hits. That's why they're in at number 14. Okay, number 13 is The Temptations. I only have this album of theirs. Most of my Temptations songs are iTunes, I found. This is called the 64 Greatest Motown Original Hits. This my mom gave me later, but this was one of hers in her collection. This had all the hits. They're big Motown hits. I Wish It Would Rain, Psychedelic Shack, Just My Imagination, that was a big one of their hits. You're My Everything, My Girl, I Know I'm Losing You, Ain't Too Proud to Beg, and Beauty is Only Skin Deep. Also, the Ruffin Brothers were a part of the Temptations. Jimmy Ruffin had the song What Becomes of the Broken Hearted, and David Ruffin had My Whole World Ended. This was a 4-album set. That's the Temptations. They had 44 top hit songs, and they land in at number 13, the top groups of all time. Number 12, The Beach Boys. This is my favorite. This is the very best of the Beach Boys, Sights and Sounds of Summer. This was a 2-disc. The second disc was a DVD. Had some of their big hits showing on videos. California Girls, all the way to Good Vibrations. This was a really good sounding collection. There's the surfboards and the DVD. Let's look in here. This came out much later, this collection that they put together. There's Pet Sounds, one of their albums. And some of the songs. Some more pictures there. That's the Beach Boys. Number 12, the top groups of all time. They had also 44 hits. This came out in 2004, and that's when I purchased this. Okay, next. Number 11. Styx. It's one of my favorite albums of Styx's. Cornerstone. This had the hits Lights, Why Me, Babe, Borrowed Time. Eddie was also a hit. My favorite on this is Babe. There's the group there. John Panozzo, Chuck Panozzo, the two brothers, Tommy Shaw, Dennis DeYoung, and James James J.Y. Young. They had different members over the years, but this is my favorite album of theirs. Science fiction kind of theme to it. Styx has had 47 hit songs, and that's why they're at number 11, the groups of all time. Okay, number 10, Alabama. All those number one country hits of theirs. This is their album 20th Century. It was a millennium type of album. This had 20th Century, their big hit, God Must Have Spent a Little More Time on You. They did that with NSYNC. There was one other hit, Too Much Love. All of these songs were really good. That's why I like this one. This one was also an enhanced CD. Put it in the computer and it'll play some extra stuff. Let me see what it said on this one. That might have been it. It was to go on American Online, if you remember that. That's what the enhanced part was. Had two of those in there. Let's see. These are all the lyrics, the words. They had 41 number one hits on the country chart. That's why they're up there. The total amount of hit songs they've had over the years, 51. 51 hit songs. And that's the group Alabama. Number 10 of all time. Up next, number 9. Whoa. Number 9 is the Eagles. This is my favorite of the Eagles albums. One of These Nights. Of course, the title song, One of These Nights. Too Many Hands. Journey of the Sorcerer was an instrumental. Lying Eyes. Take It to the Limit. Visions. And After the Thrill Is Gone. Those were all big hits for the Eagles. And let's see, not much in there. This was 1975 when this came out. Asylum Records. That's the Eagles. They had 51 hit songs. One of their biggest ones was Hotel California, but this is my favorite of theirs. Okay, number 8, the group Heart. And this is my favorite album of theirs. It's their greatest hits album. Ann and Nancy Wilson, sisters. This had all their early great hits, and then a couple of new ones came in. There they are, Ann and Nancy Wilson. Oh yes, Strong, Strong Wind was the new one. It was in the 90s. And then the Rock and Roll Live, they did a Led Zeppelin song. That's Nancy Wilson back in the day. Let's see. And then Ann Wilson. one of the members of the group there. See, they did Rock and Roll Live. That was a version of a Led Zeppelin song. And those were the albums they took these songs off of. All right, and that's the group Heart. They've had 51 hit songs too. And they rank in at number 8 because their last song that made the chart brought them to that position. Okay, these are the biggest groups of all time with the most hits. Number 7, Aerosmith. And this is my favorite one of theirs. Just Push Play. Had the song Beyond Beautiful, Just Push Play, Jaded, Fly Away From Here, Under My Skin, those were the big ones. This is their album Just Push Play. There's Steven Tyler, Joe Perry. There's that robot. This came out in the year 2001. Aerosmith ranked in number 7. They have 54 hit songs. All right, number 6. Chicago. And my favorite one of theirs is the Chocolate Album. That's number 10, their 10th album. This had You Were On My Mind. If You Leave Me Now was the biggest hit on here. Another Rainy Day in New York City. Those were the 3 big ones, but this was a really cool album. And there they all are, doing a chase scene. Cops chasing after them for being too loud, probably. That's Chicago. They had 63 top hits, and that's why they're in at number 6. We're up to the top 5. Number 5 is Bon Jovi. My favorite album of theirs is called Bounce. This had Undivided, The Distance, Misunderstood, All About Loving You. That was the big hit on here. You Had Me From Hello. I think Bounce was also a hit. The title song. John Bon Jovi, Richie Sambora. This was a really cool insert they put in there. There's the middle. There's Richie Sambora. There's another one of those inserts there. Kind of like a hologram. Let's see. This came out in 2002. But Bon Jovi, over the years, has 66 top hits. That's a lot of hit songs. I like this group because they're from New Jersey. That's where I'm from. Number 4, the Rolling Stones. This is their album Bigger Bang. This is my favorite of theirs. This came out in 2005. I'd say there's the tongue. Can't go out wrong with a tongue in one of their albums. Let's see, this had Rough Justice. It's very timely. This Place Is Empty. That was a song that Keith Richards sang. Streets of Love. That was a big hit. There's one other one. I'm not finding it. It's so tiny, the writing on this. Let's see. Let me look in here. Maybe I'll see it better in here. Rough Justice. It goes the other way around here. That was a big one. Streets of Love. This Place Is Empty. There they are. Oh, there it is. Sweet Neocon. That was the other hit from this album. You can see it there. Mick Jagger sang most of the songs on here. But that's the Rolling Stones. Over the years, they've had 78 big hit songs. That's why they're in at number 4. Number 3 is U2. This is my favorite of U2's, That You Can't Leave Behind. This had Beautiful Day, Stuck in the Moment, Stuck in a Moment You Can't Get Out of, Elevation. That was the big one, I think, on here. Beautiful Day was, too, on some charts. Walk On, Wild Honey, one of my favorites on there. All right, that's U2. Let's see, this one came out in the year 2000. A lot of pictures on this one. And there's the words. Bono. Over the years, they've had a lot of albums, and this was one that I liked the most. It played really well on my CD player. U2 over the years had a total of 80 hit songs. And that's why they're in at number 3. These are the groups with the most hit songs, and at number 2 is the Bee Gees. This is their album Main Course. It's one of my favorites. Had Nights on Broadway, Jive Talking, Wind of Change, Fanny, Be Tender With My Love, Country Lanes, Edge of the Universe. Those were all the big ones. This came out in 1975. The Girl and the Spoon. You know, the Bee Gees, Barry Gibb, Maurice Gibb, and Robin Gibb. Their brother Andy Gibb joined them too, but he was more of a solo artist. And the Bee Gees had 81 hit songs over the years. And you probably know what number 1 is. Number 1 group of all time is the Beatles. In that short period of time they were on the charts from 63 all the way to 1970. This was one of my favorite albums of theirs, Abbey Road. This kind of like brought it all back. 1969 when this came out. Come Together, Something, Oh Darling, Here Comes the Sun, She Came In Through the Bathroom Window, Golden Slumbers, Carry That Weight, The End, Her Majesty. That whole goes together like one big medley. This was from Apple Records. Not much in there, but this is Abbey Road in London, England. Or near Liverpool. Let's see. George Harrison wrote that song Something. Ringo Starr wrote Octopus's Garden. Lennon and McCartney wrote all the rest of those songs. Oh, Here Comes the Sun was written by George Harrison, too. And the Beatles, over those years, and a couple years after that, with the songs coming out later, they've had 108 hit songs. Nothing can top that for these top groups. All right, thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.